Do you like the show and you want to make your own? Well, let me tell you about Anchor. It's free. They're creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And now you can even add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless for what you can create. Now, Anchor is going to distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money from your podcast. No minimum listenership needed. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
Welcome into the Wednesday, September 7th edition. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. We're going to take your phone calls and texts this hour. The phone line is 877-420-TALK, 877-420-8255. Our text line this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. My co-host is back. Taevion Kinsey is in studio with us now, future pro basketball star. No pressure there.
Eventually, that's what we're working for.
Okay, future pro football and basketball and hockey star. You're gonna play them all.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, every single sport.
Definitely. I would love to.
He's gonna join us. So I don't know your full schedule because you bounce around here in Kindred Communications. They got you doing everything. I don't know what all tasks they have you doing. I just know I get you some days, and so we're going to take advantage of it. And he's in here today as well. We will open up, again, the phone lines and the text line. The text line is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. No, Taevion can't tell you about the basketball schedule. It's not out yet. He can't tell you about it. No, he can't get you tickets, so don't ask. He can't do that. I mean, he can't even get me tickets. So, I got to go through Cody Lynn, the SID, to get tickets. So don't be expecting that. And of course, he can't. I don't know what can't you talk about? Because what is it that people ask you that you just like? I can't tell you that. You get that often.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
People
I would say
good.
people ask great questions that I usually can answer. So
that's a very nice way to say it. Yeah, they ask great questions here. So you can text in again. It's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Of course, Tavion's going to break down Marshall Notre Dame. That's what he's here for later on. Right? You got the game plan. You know what's going to happen. The Herd's going to win, and you know why.
I just know the Herd is going to win. That's the most important thing at the end of the day, and I know that we're going to go out there and represent Marshall in a great way.
Okay, Coach Huff would love to hear that right now. We're going to get him to once the season's over, we're going to get him into basketball. Get him through a basketball game a little bit, Noah, because I know you guys were. Did you have fun going out to see Marshall, Norfolk State? Did you get the chance to be in that mess?
Oh yeah, it was amazing. The crowd atmosphere, the students being there, it was everything that you would hope for on a college game day. So,
are you looking at students and like, hey, by the way, we got this basketball arena right across the street. Won't you guys come over on game days and hang out with us? Did you do a little lobbying?
Oh, I mean, I just let it be their season. Right now it's football season, and we're definitely rooting for football, but I know a lot of people know exactly where that Cam Henderson Center is, and we'll be looking to see a lot of those same students that were at the game at the Cam Henderson Center this year. So
I would have campaigned. I would be like, look, by the way, we expect you here in a few weeks for basketball season. So you were in the student section.
I was.
Okay, how did it feel to you? It's just like, did it feel different?
It was surreal. I think it was more so like everybody felt together, especially with them adding those banners in and us being more, compacted. It was very loud, and it was great energy in that student section. You could tell that kids were happy to be there and happy to cheer on for Marshall. So.
Heard also, I don't know how much you know about this because you're pretty involved in a lot of things on campus. You're on a couple of groups as well, right? Not just you're not just on the basketball team. You're involved with more of the behind the scenes stuff with a couple of things, right?
Yes. So the new AD, he announced that I would be the secretary with just the senior athletic committee. We just go and help out all athletes and anybody who may need some type of help, may need some type of guidance, whether it doesn't matter what sports you play. You could come and see me. I have people that are, above me, higher than me, but I'm just here to help. Anything that you need to know athletic-wise or any type of people that you need to get in contact with, that's kind of more so my job.
Okay. So were you involved in the rebranding of the herd, the Stampede now? What'd you think of that?
I was not with the involvement of the rebranding, but when I did hear it, I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was something new. I think we need something new, and I think he's bringing a lot of new things in, and just to have us be called something else other than the herd that we hear all the time, which I love. But the Stampede, I think it's going to catch on. I think it's going to stay.
Taevion Kinsey is with us. He's going to be in here for the entire show, so we will, again, take your text this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. And, of course, I'm trying to get that Taevion rub because it's like a lot of people are like, oh, wow, Taevion was on the show. So I'm trying to – I'm not going to lie. I'm going to basically try to glean some of your fame and boost myself up because everybody loves Taevion. You know it's true. You can't even be modest about it. You know it. You walk around campus, everybody loves Taevion.
The thing is, I walk around campus probably the quietest person on campus. You would never know, unless you knew exactly who I was, you would probably never know I was Taevion. You would definitely never know I was Taevion because I just make sure I'm always humble. It could be a lot of people that love you, but it could also be a lot of people that might hate you. So I never know. And I just try to make sure that, I'm nice to everybody, making sure that I'm just the best person.
Who could hate Taevion Kinsey on campus? Who is that person? I want to talk to them.
Maybe somebody who's heard, hey, that's Taevion. They're getting annoyed with that, or maybe they're frustrated with that. But I don't know. I try to be nice to everybody around here and show face, some good positivity to everybody. So it will be hard to not like me.
It's Ari Agnes, right? Marshall's volleyball coach. She's just, you're not moving fast enough so she can get on the court, right? Is that where the hate comes from?
No, that's their court. Like I said, they're in season right now, and we're making sure that we come out to their games to support them. But she's a great coach, and she's even a better person off the court.
So football is at Notre Dame this week. Yeah, I'm glad you had a good time against Norfolk State. Stadium looked really good. The wraps are looking really good. You and I were talking. And let me tell you, the excitement for me just to watch your face, Taevion didn't know about some of the history of the Henderson Center. And, in hindsight, okay, why would he? Why would you know that? They just don't, have a history book. Hey, here's what this place looked like before. So I showed a coach's show from 1983. It was Rick Huckabee. And it was highlights from a game against, I guess, Yugoslavia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The herd killed him that day.
Yeah.
And you didn't know that before the seats were retractable and that there was supposed to be an indoor track in that facility. So you were just looking at the Henderson Center. Your mind was like, I don't know what was going through your mind. Other than, what?
Yeah, like I told you, once I go into the cam now, I'm always going to think about that video you showed me of how the gym used to look. Just like all the different new things that they've added, or all the different new pathways that they added out of the gym, was just to see those pathways not there, not knowing where the locker room is, just to see the different type of court that it was. It was just surreal. I've never seen anything like it, and I don't think I've asked anybody the history behind it. So I wouldn't expect for somebody to just come out the gate and explain straight to me like this is what it used to look like. But just to see that is just, we've came a long way. We've definitely came a long way.
Would you be caught dead in those shorts the herd was wearing in 1983? Those short shorts?
Knowing me, yes.
Okay, so you were down with that.
Knowing me, And I think everybody on campus knows, and if you've been to a basketball game, and this is probably one of the reasons why they do hate me, is because I wear my shorts pretty high, and it's just something that I've always done. So I would definitely probably be a big, small shorts wearer, if that's what I could say. So
I don't know. I like the current unis.
You like the current unis?
I like the current because it took a while to get used to it, because when Michigan started wearing those long shorts, everyone else was like, kind of feeling awkward here, because those were fresh, new. Whoa, you can cover your knees.
Yeah, for me, it's more so like as a kid. The story behind it is like as a kid, I was always tall, had longer legs, so the clothes that I would get was always shorter on me. So I felt more comfortable. I felt like I could move better if my shorts were like more so smaller, not so super small, but like smaller. And I don't really feel comfortable with my shorts being over my knees. I just feel like real sluggish in that type of outfit. So yeah, I might roll up my shorts a couple heights that people don't like, but that's just me being me.
We'll get Dan to bring those back. He'll get some retro shorts.
And I'm sure he's going to be with it. I'm definitely sure he's going to be with it. We got some things coming up that I've heard is coming up with some changes in our warm-ups and our uniforms, but you guys have to get out to the Cam Henderson this year to see that.
Wait a minute. You're going to drop that on me and not tell me?
We'll have to talk about that.
Okay, we can talk
about that.
Okay, because you know how hard it was for me to keep quiet? I saw that court before the fans did, and how hard it was for me not to say anything about the design and what's been going on.
I think we're the same person, because when I seen the design of it too, and I just wanted to tell everybody about it. I wanted to tell the whole community of Huntington, like, you don't know what you're in store for, but it's going to be very different. It's going to be very nice, very much so, just a different scenery. And I don't know. I think we got some good things coming. Okay. We got some good things coming.
Yeah, you know what started this conversation with us? It was because the stadium's going to be the stadium's tarp now in the end zone, and I thought that was great. It brought back the fans a little closer to each other, and so the upper herd heaven, the upper part, that steep hill, whatever you want to call it, is going to be tarped, and so it's going to be more of an intimate crowd at the Henderson Center. And I think that's going to be great, just to bring everybody a little closer together now.
A little closer together.
And cut that out a little bit, these upper seats. You look up there, and honestly, I'm surprised people would want to sit up there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know who buys those tickets.
Me either.
Because as a student, I sit up there and like, this is terrible.
I feel like those tickets should be free. I feel like if anybody's sitting up there, they chose to sit up there. Like, that area is for people who just, don't want to buy a ticket down there. They can sit all the way up there. But I don't think myself, I would just come straight into the Cam and go straight up there. Yeah.
Let's not give free tickets away. No, because we got to pay for some court improvements and other things.
Yeah.
No free tickets.
No free tickets.
Yeah, I don't want athletic director Christian Spears calling me like, what are you doing giving the tickets away? What are you doing? You and Taevion, what do you think? Who do you think pays for this stuff?
No free tickets.
No free tickets. No freebies here. All right, we're going to get our first break in. Come back. We'll get your text in, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Paul Swann, your host for this edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And we spent a lot of time and energy trying to figure out who would be a great addition to this program as a co-host. And so we got this kid we found at Marshall University. His name's Taevion Kinsey. He's okay on the basketball court, I hear. He's got a shot. Might make it big one day. Might get some playing time for the herd. So we're happy to have you here. You're the star of the team. I can say that. I'm going to get in trouble with some of your other teammates, but you're the star. You know that. Okay, you're humble. You're not going to say that. Your teammates, they're going to have issue with me there. I know it. I know it. I know it. It's okay. I can say that. You can't.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say about that. I would say that we are all stars on this team. So that's how I kind of like to look at it.
Hashtag herd family.
Herd family.
Herd family. So Marshall is in action football this week, taking on Notre Dame. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But coming up tonight, the soccer team is this is interesting because you're an Ohio guy, Columbus, right? Okay, so going up the road a little bit, I don't know how well you love Cleveland area. You know, are you more of a Southern Ohio guy, Northern Ohio guy? Is it like north, south, and central? Is it three halves or three parts of Ohio?
Well, I've been everywhere in Ohio, but Cleveland is like my second home.
Okay.
So I played basketball there too many times to count. I've been playing there probably since I was about like 7 years old. So I would go to Cleveland almost every weekend. So that's kind of funny that you said that. Like, am I familiar with that area? Because I would count that as like, other than here, that would be like a second home for me.
Okay, well, your herd family, number 8 Marshall men's soccer team, number 8 now after beating number 2 Pitt, moving up, taking on Cleveland State, the Vikings. Mm-hmm. What's Cleveland State about? Just how familiar are you? I mean, I'm not asking you to give me the breakdown on their soccer team, but as far as this, when you hear about Cleveland State, what's Cleveland State about?
Well, me being a basketball guy, I think about Norris Cole.
Right.
Norris Cole played at Cleveland State. He was one of the best to ever play at Cleveland State. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, Coach Jackson used to coach at. Did he used to coach at Cleveland State, or was he like on staff there? If I'm not mistaken, I'll have to figure that out. But I'm pretty sure I know him good enough to know that he was. I want to say he was a part of that staff there. But other than that, I don't really know much about Cleveland State.
Okay, well, they're 3-0. Soccer team's 3-0. It's all you need to know, and they're playing the herd, so we don't want them to win. They're pretty good offensively. They have outscored their opponents 10-3. It's a lot in soccer.
Yeah.
I mean, for you, that's like a minute in game time.
Mm-hmm.
10-3, and the herd is moving up the rankings. Lose that shortened game, weather delay.
Mm-hmm.
Lose that, bounce back with a great win against Pitt. Now moving up the rankings, taking on this Cleveland State team. And you and I were talking earlier that the pressure's on you and your team now because the Thundering Herd's starting to rack up Player of the Week in the Sun Belt. The Sun Belt's been good to the Herd so far. Just today, Marshall University's cross-country team picked up a runner of the week. And Abby Herring, she was named Sun Belt Women's Runner of the Week. So, we're seeing volleyball, men's soccer. We're seeing a lot of these teams here start to pick up some weekly honors there, and hopefully that means we're going to see some basketball honors weekly. I don't know. I'm just putting your name out there for Player of the Year. No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. Player of the Year, Sun Belt.
No pressure.
Preseason, preseason Player of the Year, Taevion Kinsey, right?
Definitely no pressure at all. I think a lot of people will look at that as some type of pressure, but me playing this game for as long as I've been playing, no pressure at all. I actually like that. That's going to add to my motivation for this year.
Okay, so if you see the preseason rankings and you feel that the Herd's not well represented or properly represented here, does that go into the back of your mind like, okay, I'm going to show them something?
Always. I think I just have that underdog mentality that's like, I always just go into a room thinking like, okay, who's counting us out? I look at who's counting us out. I look at the ranking of everything. I look at all the teams that are ranked before us. And those guys have now just made the list, the list that I put in the back of my head.
Oh, there's a list.
Kind of like a list as like, okay, I'm ready to see you. Since they have you ranked over us, we're ready to see you. And since you're ranked over us, we're ready to see you. And it's kind of like in that list as we play those teams, I'm just checking it off. Like, okay, we get to play this team. We get to play this team. They said they were better than us in this area, this area. They had us beating us in this and that. So, therefore, I'm just slowly checking the list off.
You remember when Chad Johnson would put the people who were covering him on his locker?
Yeah.
Is that you? Do you have like their photo, their name, everything like just in your locker so you can look at it like, okay.
So we get our scout sheets, and I'll look at my position. Well, Coach Dan, we play positionless basketball, but I'll look at the guy that
I was gonna say.
Yeah, and that's great. But I'll look at the guy that 9 times out of 10 they'll tell me who's going to be guarding me, and 9 times out of 10 I'll probably know it's going to be their best defender. And it's just like, okay, I'm going to read his scout. I'm going to cut his scout out of the scout, and I'm going to study his scout a little bit harder than what I study for everybody else, but I'm going to make sure I study the whole thing so that I can be with the team. But usually for the most part, I do have a couple people that circle just because of our relationship through basketball.
Okay. Do you don't social media stalk them, do you? You don't get on like their TikTok, their Twitter, like, okay, I'm gonna get in his head somehow.
Oh, no way. My thing is I'm not a trash talker. My dad, he always taught me just let the game speak for itself. Even when we get into the game and it's the heat of the moment, I've had numerous of guys saying crazy things, talking to me the whole time, and it's just like, hey, all I got to do is put the ball in the basket, and that's going to speak for me. So that's kind of what I do. I don't, bother them, pester them, try to follow them on any type of social medias or anything like that. I just wait until that day is ready for that game.
Do you get that? Does that happen? Is it just like players come out and just try to talk trash on game day? They don't try to get ahead of you in your head early? None of that stuff goes on. Yeah, that's more fan stuff.
Yeah, more so fan stuff. I think that's more so somebody who is not playing and they have a little bit more leeway to say things, because, like, if you come out there and you try to get into my head before the game and then we play in the game and you don't show up, then that's on you for coming in here with a lot of talking. But for the most part, I would say it just usually happens when we're in the game. We just the heat of the moment, players getting between each other, and that's when the chatter starts, really.
How much have you looked ahead to the Sun Belt? What are you doing in preparation for the season? Are you looking at maybe going back a little bit, seeing what the Sun Belt's about, or is that something that you're going to get ready for as it comes, maybe not trying to look too far ahead? How are you getting ready for a new league?
I would say right now I'm more so focused on just me and the team. Like, I'm just more so focused on how are we going to improve to be a better team than we were last year. And I know we have to make a couple improvements as a unit, that it doesn't matter what conference we're going to go to, that is going to help us in wherever we're going to play. Now, I haven't looked much at the Sun Belt Conference and the teams in it, but I know we played Louisiana last year. So in my mind, I just summed it up as like every team is going to play like that. Every team is going to be a little bit more physical. The guys are a little bit more athletic in Sun Belt Conference. They're going to get after it a little bit more. So we're just going to have to find our ways to match that intensity, and then to bring our skill that Conference USA used to hold and figure out a way to use that as an advantage. So I would say, like I said, for the most part, not really looking too forward into the future, just worried about right now, because I tend to get overwhelmed and get way too fired up just waiting to play these teams. So
we don't even know the non-conference yet. We haven't got that. It's sitting on one guy's desk right now. Marshall's basketball sports information director, Cody Lynn. He will not give it to me. He won't even tell me a single thing about it. You don't even know. They haven't told you.
Don't even know.
So we got to wait together until Dan gets the final contracts signed, or whoever's in charge of that. So what's just the wait there? I mean, you want to see your schedule. Like, who do we play? You want to find out.
I think it's from just a player standpoint looking at it, I would say like the weight is everything. Like just that build up of like who is this like team that they're trying to put on this roster? Who are the teams that we're going to play like throughout the Sun Belt Conference and out of conference, non-conference games like that. So I would just say it definitely adds some excitement before going into the season. But I think once that game gets put onto that schedule and then we get to see that schedule, then all that, anxiousness and things like that will be more calmer. We'll be more ready, more so focused in on the task at hand. So.
All right, let's start the rumor. It's Notre Dame. We're waiting for Notre Dame. Let's just start that rumor now.
Waiting for Notre Dame.
Yeah, we're waiting for Notre Dame. It's going to be Notre Dame on the schedule.
Waiting for Notre Dame.
Now, if that's true, and I have no knowledge ahead of time here, somebody's going to be calling us like, okay, who told you?
That's crazy. What year was it? My sophomore year, we played Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played Notre Dame.
It's going to be Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, you know what? It's going to be Notre Dame.
We can run that back.
We can do that, or it's going to be Kentucky. Kentucky, Notre Dame. Let's do that.
And we were supposed to play that game too, and we'll be glad to play that one too. So we'll just leave it in the air as Notre Dame or Kentucky.
Yeah, let's do that. That's the schedule. No, we're just going to have to make a run over to the office tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You provide the distraction. You know what? I'll provide the distraction. You go in.
Okay.
You get it.
Okay.
Taevion Kinsey's with us. He's going to be hanging out with us on certain days. Looking forward to it. And next week he's got homework assignments. Next week he's going to be. We're serious. We're taking him to football next week, and we're going to have that conversation. It's going to be him and who would you want to interview? Who would you? We'll put the request in. Who would you want to interview for football? You want to interview one of the Payne brothers? You want to interview Columbi?
To be honest, I would like to interview somebody that I know that I actually have like a relationship with.
Okay.
So I would say he's a wide receiver. His name is Shadid.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to sit down with him because I feel like we connect a lot on just some topics that we haven't really touched into. But I really want to know a couple of things about football, and he's a wide receiver, and that's kind of what I used to play when I played football. So I just want to know how it is, what he's going through, how the season is, how the Sun Belt is, the Sun Belt Conference for him. And, I'm excited to sit down and talk with him.
Okay, I'm putting that request in.
Okay.
Well, that could be your one-on-one. We're gonna do a one-on-one. Tavion's going to interview Shadid, and that's going to be next Tuesday. We'll save, depending on how well that goes, we'll save it for Saturday for the game day, depending on what you guys talk about.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure this out, but we're going to do that. We'll put the request in. Every week we're going to request one player for you.
I got to be on my prep. I got to prep.
Yeah, you got to prep now.
I got to prep now. I got homework now. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
That's fine with
okay,
me.
so that's every week. It's going to be your breakdown, you previewing the game with. Now it can't be someone every week.
That's fine.
You're going to have to throw you into like someone you've never talked to but you want to.
Okay, that's fine with me. And I like getting to know people and like starting new conversations with new people. So I think that will be a great experience. It never has to just be somebody that that I know. I'm comfortable talking to anybody.
Okay, so. And what's going to be great is we're just going to roll in there on Tuesday,
mm-hmm.
and they're going to look at us like, what's hey, Tate, what are you doing here?
What's going on?
And the first thing Taevion is going to say is like, yeah, I'm working for Swann.
Working for Swann.
Eventually, I'll be working for you, but that's in the future. Today, you'd be like, yeah, I'm working for Swann. Mm-hmm. So, okay, you're going to ask Coach Huff a question. You're gonna try to ask him when he's given.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to ask him a question.
Okay.
I'm gonna write something down. I'm gonna have some ready. I've been getting some practice in school. We've been doing some talking. You've been teaching me a couple of things, so I think I'll be going in there prepared. I should say I'll be more so prepared for whatever's thrown at me, whatever questions I need to ask. So.
All right, this might not go well, but I'm gonna ask this question before you really started working here. In general, just to spare my feelings. In general, what did you think of the media before you started really getting into this side? Because after a game, the first thing you probably don't want to talk about is the game, how depending on how it went. Because I know you didn't hold back. You didn't just try to gloss over it. So we knew how you felt at all times. So what was your impression of us before being on this side?
Well, me being a journalism major, I kind of see it from both sides. I see it from the player's perspective, the coach's perspective, just being an athlete and getting the interview. And then I also know what goes behind doing the interviews and all the prep work that goes behind it. So my hat's comes off to you guys. Like, I have the complete respect. And then going into now the studio and learning all the ins and outs of it is just even more respect to you guys. So.
Okay, we've recorded that. That way we can bring it back a little bit later on. Like, yeah, remember when you said that, Taevion?
Yep.
All right, we got to take a break. We have to pay bills, so more coming up. It's The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
We're taking Paul Swann everywhere. Download or subscribe to The Drive with Paul Swann on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And it's free, by the way. The podcast is free. And I got to change that out because I can't say subscribe anymore. It's follow, because my dentist got confused. He thought I was asking him for some money about that. Welcome back. It's The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Taevion Kinsey is with us as well. He's sort of a part-time co-host of this program, so pretty soon he's going to be laying out what we talk about. Oh, yeah. Yeah, pretty soon you're going to be responsible for the show content.
I'm just learning everything new today. I think I've learned a lot of things today, and that's another new thing.
Oh, I'm curious, just because we do show business on the air sometimes, so let's just do show business. So what have you learned? What's the thing that's maybe you're like, I didn't, other than the history lesson of the Henderson Center I gave you earlier?
And
that 80s hair you were watching, we were watching that 80s coaches show with Rick Huckabee, and the host was Terry Bumgardner. He was a big deal back in the day for TV around here.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's another new thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a reason to know that name.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't, but I know in WMUL, when you walk down that hallway, he's there. He's all over that wall. So when you showed me that video of him, it was like, wow, okay, I see this man almost every day going to class.
It's like, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Does Dr. Bailey have a photo of me up in the hallways?
Yes.
Yes. He does?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, you do have a photo up there.
Is it that group photo? Is that okay, I'm there.
Yep.
All right, just making sure. I still talk to the professor.
Who, Dr. Bailey?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just because you graduate, Marshall, doesn't mean that Dr. Bailey is done with you.
I believe that. I believe that. I don't think that's the first time I've heard that. So
he's not done with you. You know how coaches will follow you, your career, after you're done with high school?
Yeah.
Your high school coach is probably still talking to you.
Yep, yeah.
Dan's probably going to still talk to you.
Yeah, I've got some AAU coaches that coached me when I was about 6 years old, and they're still talking to me till this day. So.
Yeah. So, Coach Bailey will be dropping me some notes. And I appreciate I don't know if that's like a Marshall thing or just, hey, I'll take it.
I think it is. I think it is just being – it's a Marshall thing. It's just I explain that to people all the time. Like, once you're a son of Marshall, you're always a son of Marshall, and it's real.
Do you have a shift on MUL? They give you a shift yet? They put you in there?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's so packed in there with people who have been trying to get on in there and trying to do their own shifts and trying to get in with the sports show, things like that. So this right here for me is my, getting my feet wet.
Okay, so I'm the laboratory now.
Oh, yeah, you're the laboratory.
I'll take that. That's cool. One thing that we have that the MUL doesn't have is commercials. So we have to hit the final break. Let's do that. Then we'll have plenty of time on the other side of the break. You're listening to The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
It's our final segment of the Wednesday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Paul Swann and Taevion Kinsey with you. We're here until 6 o'clock. We're also going to update the bumper music on the show when Tavion's here because, you hear that old stuff all the time with Dan I can say it. You can't. Don't worry.
Yep.
I can say it.
Mouth closed.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna just keep it zipped.
We know some people that can get real close to Dan, and that iPod. Is he using an iPod? Is he stepped to an iPhone at least? Does he have?
He's got an iPhone.
Is it like a 4? Is it a 6? What has he got?
No, I think he's got the newest iPhone.
Okay.
With technology, Coach Dan is pretty up to date. With music,
not so much.
He's at his own pace. He's definitely at his own pace.
Dan's doing himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Needs to change that. I can say that you can't. You can't say don't worry about it. It's okay. Hey, look, we're covered. You know that Christian Spears, the athletic director, said anything you need, right?
Yeah.
Anything you need. Tell him you need an updated playlist.
We need an updated playlist. Me and Coach Dan, it's going to be battles before that happens. But I feel like if anybody can get it done, it'll probably be me. I'm gonna try my hardest. But Coach Dan, he loves his music the way he loves.
Yes, he does. So we're gonna work on that. We got soccer coming up tonight for the Thundering Herd, 7 o'clock, taking on Cleveland State. And then Friday, volleyball back in action. Going to be taking on Charleston Southern, Murray State, Kent State. They're back in action. Tournaments are almost done. Then basketball, hopefully we'll get the schedule here in the next few weeks, and we can start talking to Taevion about the opponents one by one, break them down. I just want a copy of your scout. That's just. I feel like that's like government secrets there.
Yeah, that's top secret stuff right there. That's
get a peek of it.
That can't get into the wrong hands, really.
just look at it like I want to see what, because I can't imagine Dan actually. Dan won't be typing it up. I can't imagine what a Dan scout would be other than they got a big guy.
They got a big guy.
We got a big guy.
We got a big guy
too.
We got a big guy, and that's the scout.
That's the scout. This is going to be fun. So Taevion is. If you just joined us, Tavion's going to be with us here, throughout the week for a while on game nights. Obviously not. I don't think Dan would allow that. But other than that, Tavion's going to be with us here as he's going to be working with us here in the company to get some practical experience. After his pro career is over, years from now, he's going to. Probably be an analyst for NBA on TNT, maybe.
That's the plan. That's definitely the dream. That's actually the dream in a nutshell. That is exactly what I want to do. So,
pro career, NBA on TNT.
NBA on TNT.
What's it about that show that you like?
Just the realness of it. I think just me growing up, always seeing NBA on TNT. Mm-hmm. Just seeing that as a kid, wanting to be those guys that were on there talking. So I think, now that I'm able to be in the positions to set myself up to be there, I'm really gunning to get there one day. So
what do they do that stands out to you? Because there are so many people that can talk about the NBA. What are they doing that is really setting them apart in your mind?
I just think the way they talk about the NBA, I think they're always being themselves. I think they have people on there that have played the game and have been a part of the game. So it's going to be way better when you talk about the game, when you have knowledge or played in the game. So I think, and just the way that they carry themselves professionally on there. I know they might goof off sometimes or, just watching the show and the guys that's on the show. But I would say the way that it flows throughout that show, I really like that. And I think I could see myself on there one day.
Do you think it should get to the point where more athletes are taking roles in broadcasting? Do you feel that you don't have to, everybody doesn't have to have had a pro career or a career in that sport, but you feel as if you've got someone who's on the team, who's been there, done that, seen it, it adds more credibility to that broadcast, because you don't want to just watch a broadcast with people who maybe have never played.
Yeah.
Complete. There's maybe a few people that are really good at what they do. They didn't play, but if there's nobody that hasn't been on the court or on the field, so you feel like athletes need to maybe try to take some more of those roles or push themselves to be involved in that?
Yeah, I definitely do. And also just me being a student at Marshall, I could just give the example of just it's a lot of athletes that are in the path, like the career path of broadcast journalism, TV journalism, things like that. But I feel like just athletes who don't know what they want to do after their career, this is also a way to continue your career is what you don't understand. Like, just because you're not playing, you can still talk about the game, and you being a part of the game, I feel like you would get more credit going to what you're talking about, and people might respect what you're saying more just because they know you've had, some experience out there in that field. So
Taevion Kinsey is with us, and you're pretty soon you're just going to be co-host eventually. We're going to graduate you from special guest to just co-host of the show.
I'm ready to be promoted.
Okay, so we'll give you that promotion here, and you won't be back. You will be back with us Friday. Okay, so he'll be with us on a high school football Friday night, and we got some interesting matchups in the area. Hurricane and South Charleston. That should be a really premier matchup. Huntington High is off. Spring Valley is off, so a couple of the teams that we carry will not be on the air, but we should have some good matchups to talk about. So Taevion will be with us on Friday. So that's your homework. Be prepared about the high school matchups in the Tri-State on a Friday night.
Okay. I got a couple guys that talk about high school football, so I'm already there. I'm already processing it in my mind.
On your team or?
On my team, just guys that I go to school with, guys who have members like little brothers or people who are part of the teams that that you just named. So yeah, I'll definitely have my report ready. Okay,
so we're gonna get the scout from Taevion. That's his job. He's gonna be scouting everybody for us. We have Pirates baseball coming up next here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And don't forget, if you missed any part of today's show, you can go back and get it. We've got the podcast that'll be posted soon on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. And then Tavion's going to retweet it, and I'm going to get like 1,000 followers based on Tavion's social media. See, that's my goal. We'll be back tomorrow. Good night, everyone.
WRBC Huntington, W227BS Huntington. This is your radio home for Pittsburgh Pirates baseball, ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.